Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another album review, and this time it's Tim Bowness and Powder Dry. I was very lucky to talk to Tim about this album for the Now Spinning Magazine podcast, and we spoke for nearly an hour. So please make sure you watch that, because Tim goes through every single track and we talk at length about what the music means, etc. So you'll get a really in-depth view of this album from that podcast. Here, I'm just going to quickly, briefly go over it, really. I'm a huge fan of Tim's music, especially No Man. I'm a massive fan of Steven Wilson. These two guys are joined at the hip, really. This is the first time that Tim has done a solo album, which is technically completely a solo album because he plays everything. I think Tim said he's never really done this before because he always felt there's someone out there that could maybe play some of the instruments better than him. But this, to me, is an immaculate piece of work. Steven Wilson produced it and probably had a little bit of influence on it, but it's completely Tim on his own, and it's the first album for K-Scope as well. Influences to the album apparently are Flowers of the Scene, Miles Davis, jazz, Joni Mitchell, Nick Drake, etc., David Sylvian, Kate Bush, Steve Reich. Probably, but there's lots. Those of you who are fans of No Man will know roughly what to expect because, you know, Tim writes that music and it comes out of him, comes out of the pores of his skin. It's a bit like a 60s album in respect to not the music, but the length of it. Some of these tracks are like 1.5 minutes long, the whole thing. I mean, it looks as if there's like absolutely tons of tracks on it. Was it nearly 16 tracks? But some of them are tiny, as Tim calls them fragments, observations of life. And in many ways that they are. But this is very much a solo album. Some of the tracks that are my favourites are Rock Hudson, 2 minutes long. It has a kind of soft cell feel to it. It's about social media, how words can be used as weapons. It's very observational, obviously, because of that. And Lost, Not Lost, another 2-minute epic, is very electronic in its approach. And I love some of the lyrics on this, some of the lyrics. Stomach twisted as at the thought of you, a loveless spawn in search of love. Watch the podcast. Tim talks about these things. When Summer Comes is one of my favourite tracks. It's very much like a softer ballad, you know, those ones that No Man do, which have kind of got this melancholy pulling you down, but at the same time giving you a chance to float across the surface of the subject matter. Idiots at Large, what a title. It's great. It's industrial techno metal. It's disturbing, but in a kind of a nice way. A Stand Up for the Dying, another favourite one, this one. Nearly 5 minutes, this one is. And this one, this line, a killer inside looking for somewhere to hide. A killer inside looking for somewhere to hide. This is about someone dying of cancer, and that line kind of describes that better than anything, doesn't it? And again, watch the podcast how Tim talks about that, but it's one of my favourite tracks. It's deeply emotive. Old Crawler is a cinematic visual theatre for the ears. Heartbreak Notes, again, a mere 1 minute 33 seconds. Very kind of No Man feel to me. Ghost of a Kiss is another kind of No Man-ish type track. Summer Turned, it's quite a beat, really. I got wise, summer turned, the world called me as its lies schooled me, and your eyes fooled me. I got wise, summer turned, I got wiser. Lyrically, when I talked to Tim, I was drawn to the lyrics, and I think I quoted the lyrics off most of the tracks because I just feel that Tim's lyrics are, I think there's something very special about them. They drift in like kind of abstract poetry sometimes, but they always hit the mark. You can always disappear. These are great song titles as well. Though you know you're obsolete, you're hungrier than you'll ever be. Powder Dry, title track. Distortion, meltdown. It's angry. It's chaotic. It's great. It's a great track. Film of Our Youth is great. I love this one as well, and this one's got very angelic female vocals drifting in the background as well. This Way Now is another kind of No-Man-esque track, and I Was There. This is one of my favourites as well. It's got a lovely groove, a wonderful drum pattern, and very kind of percussive keyboards. It's quite long as well. It's about 4 minutes and 7 seconds. And The Film of Our Youth, another track that drifts towards No Man, and why wouldn't it? This is Tim Bowness after all. And then Built to Last, bit creepy this one. It's kind of really scary, disturbing chords at the end. Of the whole thing kind of feels like multiple wardrobes just collapsing upon you, or a shipyard. But it's a great track. Now, this to me has been an absolutely joyous album, and it is available in coloured versions. I've got the standard black vinyl version, I have to say. It's also available on CD, and it's also a 5.1 mix as well, which must sound absolutely incredible. So, Tim Bowness, don't forget to watch the podcast where Tim talks about every single track off this, but it's great. If you're into No Man, it's essential. Beautiful record. Superb. So thank you for watching, and thank you, Tim, for the music, and thank you for being here. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out the website at nowspinning.co.uk and the podcast. Check out the merch store at nowspinningmagazine.co.uk. Take care. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. So keep spinning those discs, and I'll see you all very, very soon.